E-commerce returns are climbing 3 times faster than the returns in store. And this year, they're going to blow past $1 trillion. So if you sell online, that stat alone should jolt you awake. Hi, I'm Allen Stafford from marketingbinder.com, and I turn gnarly e-commerce data into doable moves for small businesses. And in today's deep dive, we're going to uncover why returns are outpacing sales and how the try, buy, return culture and outright fraud are draining your margins, and the tech-driven tactics that flip returns from headache to competitive edge. So stick with me. Next up is a concise, data-packed rundown I've crafted to give you speed and clarity, covering prevention tools, AI fraud busters, and smart policies that keep good customers happy while blocking those abusers. And then tap subscribe if you crave jargon-free strategies, and let's diffuse the return bomb together.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. So if you're running a small business, or maybe you're deep in e-commerce marketing, you're probably feeling it, right? The pressure from online returns.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely ramping up.
It really is.
And what Allen Stafford has been seeing, through his work at marketingbinder.com, it's all in his marketing notes from the binder, is this, significant climb in e-commerce return rates.
Significant how?
We're talking nearly 3 times higher than what you typically see in like a physical store.
Wow. 3 times.
Yeah. And here's the kicker, the part that really impacts your bottom line. This growth in returns. It's actually speeding up faster than e-commerce sales are even projected to grow through 2028.
Okay, wait. Faster than sales growth. That's a problem. Let's unpack that. For someone really trying to make their small business work, what does this actually mean day to day?
Well, it's not just the hassle, right? It hits the operational costs hard.
Yeah, the shipping, the handling.
Exactly. And those profit margins, often razor thin for small businesses. Plus, it just puts more and more strain on customer service teams who are probably already stretched.
So what's the bigger picture, like the total scale of this?
The scale is, it's pretty staggering. Allen's analysis, looking at the trends, shows the total value of retail returns in the U.S. is getting really close to the value of all net retail e-commerce sales from just last year, 2025.
Seriously?
Yep.
The value of returns is almost catching up to total online sales value.
Almost. And the projections, they suggest returns will blow past $1 trillion this year.
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion. It's hard to even wrap your head around that number.
It really is. So the core insight here, coming from Allen's real-world experience for anyone running a small online shop, is that returns aren't just some, back office task anymore.
No, they're critical.
They're absolutely critical. They affect profitability directly, and honestly, they demand proactive strategies. Okay, so the takeaway is stark. E-commerce returns are outpacing sales growth. For you listening, how is this actually heating your business? That inventory management headache, those shipping costs that just keep creeping up, and ultimately, that profit you're fighting for.
It really does cast a shadow, doesn't it, across pretty much every part of an e-commerce operation. And a big reason for this surge, something Allen points out in marketing notes from the binder, is a definite shift in consumer behavior.
How so?
People are just, they're returning online purchases more often than they used to. Much more often.
It feels like it's become part of the deal now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That buy it, try it, send it back if it's not quite right mentality.
It has, to an extent. But Allen's insights suggest it's not just buyers changing their minds.
Oh, what else is going on?
Well, what's really concerning retailers now, and Allen Stafford definitely flags this as a growing issue, is the rise in return abuse and even outright fraud. We saw more reports of this in 2024.
Ah, okay. So not just legitimate returns.
Exactly. This isn't just someone deciding a shirt doesn't fit. It's, deliberate gaming of the system, manipulating return policies.
Which must be a killer for small businesses.
It's a serious financial drain, especially for smaller operations. They just don't have the same buffer to absorb those kinds of losses easily. And it means businesses need to be smart, not just about handling returns, but also about protecting themselves.
And interestingly, Allen's looked at data suggesting Gen Z reports higher rates of these.
Yeah.
Let's call them problematic return behaviors.
Yeah, that's what the data seems to indicate. It definitely raises questions about how different generations view online shopping and returns. Interesting stuff.
So where does that leave us? We know the problem's big, it's growing, and it's complex.
Right. And this is where Allen Stafford's practical marketing approach, the whole grow bold, go beyond idea from Marketing Binder really comes in. The focus shifts to prevention.
Getting ahead of it.
Exactly. Prevention is often the best cure, right? And marketing notes from the binder lays out some really concrete steps to try and curb returns before they even start.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Prevention.
Yeah.
So we've got this scale from Allen's observations. What are those first steps? What can small businesses, e-commerce marketers do now?
A really fundamental one based on Allen's experience is beefing up your product descriptions and your visuals massively.
Going beyond just the basics.
Way beyond. Think really detailed, accurate sizing charts, vital for clothes, obviously.
Oh yeah, sizing is huge.
Huge. Comprehensive details on materials, videos showing the product actually being used, 360-degree views so people can see every angle.
What about things like AR, augmented reality?
Definitely explore that. AR previews, where someone can use their phone to see how, say, a piece of furniture looks in their room. That's powerful stuff. The whole point, the big insight Allen stresses, is setting realistic expectations before the purchase. That's your best defense.
That makes perfect sense. Manage expectations up front. More detail, more clarity, less chance of surprise or disappointment when the box arrives.
Precisely. And you mentioned sizing.
Yeah, especially for apparel and shoes, that must drive a ton of returns.
It absolutely does. So Allen specifically recommends using size and fit recommendation tools.
Like those little plugins you see sometimes.
Exactly. There are apps, plugins. Some are pretty user-friendly now. They can suggest the best size based on measurements a customer enters or even, their past purchases with other brands.
That's smart, personalizing it.
It tackles a major pain point head on and can really cut down those size-related returns.
Okay, better descriptions, better visuals, fit tools. What else is in the prevention toolkit from marketing notes from the binder?
Don't ignore your existing customer reviews, summarizing common themes, maybe issues that pop up repeatedly in reviews. That can be super helpful.
How so? Like being upfront about potential downsides.
Kind of. If, say, lots of reviews mention a shoe runs narrow, just state that clearly in the description. Note, this style tends to run narrow. It manages expectations. You might lose a few sales to people with wide feet, but you'll prevent a lot of returns.
Right, saves hassle in the long run.
And Allen adds a bonus tip here. Proactive education. Content marketing.
Like blog posts or guides?
Yeah, think fit finder quizzes, guides like choosing the right widget for you, even sizing videos showing how clothes actually fit on different body types. Empower the customer before they buy.
Arming them with information. Makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, so that's prevention, but we also touched on the darker side, the abuse and fraud.
Yeah.
What does Allen Stafford suggest for tackling that? How can small businesses fight back?
This is where technology, even for smaller businesses, can really make a difference. Allen suggests looking into AI and machine learning tools specifically for fraud detection.
AI for fraud. Sounds expensive.
It used to be, maybe. But there are more accessible options now. These systems analyze patterns, return frequency, user details, types of products looking for anomalies, things that smell fishy.
And what can they do? Just flag them?
Flag them? Yes. But many tools also let you restrict accounts that are clearly engaging in abusive behavior, block repeat offenders. It's about protecting your business. The takeaway is that tech can level the playing field a bit here, helping smaller players spot and stop that costly abuse.
That sounds like a necessary defense layer, especially if fraud's getting trickier. But how do you do that without upsetting your good, honest customers?
Good question. And that leads to another concept Allen discusses, tiered return policies.
Tiered, like different rules for different people.
Sort of. The idea is you offer better terms, maybe longer return windows, free return shipping to your loyal repeat customers. Reward them.
Okay, I like that.
But for shoppers who show high-risk patterns, or maybe for certain product types prone to abuse, you might have slightly stricter conditions. Maybe restocking fees, for instance.
So you reward the good behavior and put up some guardrails against the bad.
Exactly. It's a nuanced way to manage risk without penalizing everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's shift focus a bit to the actual process of handling returns once they happen. Allen Stafford must have insights on making that less painful for small businesses. Right. Because the costs there add up fast.
Oh, they really do. You've got the handling, the return shipping costs, the labor to inspect and restock.
And sometimes the item just isn't sellable again.
Exactly. That's a direct hit. Especially tough when margins are already tight, which they often are for smaller e-commerce businesses.
So drawing on Allen's experience, what are some practical ways to streamline this? To cut costs without making customers angry?
Allen highlights a few key strategies in marketing notes from the binder. One big one is encouraging third-party drop-offs.
You mean like using UPS stores or those dedicated return hubs?
Precisely. Partnering with places like UPS Access Points, Happy Returns, Narvar, places like that, it works because they consolidate shipments. Fewer individual packages coming back to you means lower shipping costs overall.
And probably more convenient for the customer too, right?
Often, yes. It gives them more options than just boxing it up and finding a post office. And actually, projections show this third-party drop-off method is likely to be the most popular way to return online orders by 2026.
Interesting. Okay, what else?
Consider returnless refunds. Strategically.
Just totally keep it.
For very low-cost items, yes. If the cost of shipping it back, inspecting it, processing it, if all that is more than the item's value, it might make sense. But, and Allen really stresses this, you need fraud checks in place first. Don't just offer it carte blanche.
Right. Avoid abuse. Good point. Any other ideas?
Don't let returned items become dead stock. If something comes back but it's perfectly usable, maybe just opened, resell it. Create an open box or scratch and dent or slightly imperfect section on your site. Offer it at a discount. Recover some value.
Yeah, recouping some cost is better than nothing. Those are all really concrete steps. Now, the elephant in the room, customer expectations. Everyone seems to want free, easy returns. How does Allen suggest small businesses handle that pressure cooker?
It's definitely a balancing act, a real tightrope. The expectation of free returns is strong, no doubt.
But it's expensive.
It is. But here's something interesting from the data Allen's looked at. A lot of shoppers are actually willing to pay a small fee for returns.
Yeah.
Especially for convenience.
Really? I thought free was non-negotiable for most people.
It seems not entirely. And there's also a growing number of consumers who are open to paying, like, a membership fee if it includes perks like free returns. So the free for everyone always model might not be the only way.
That's actually quite hopeful. So there might be some wiggle room. What specific strategies does Allen Stafford recommend then to kind of leverage this and find that balance?
Well, one tactic from marketing notes from the binder is offering free returns, but only above a minimum purchase amount.
Like free returns on orders over $75.
Exactly. It encourages slightly larger orders, potentially boosting your average order value, while still giving that free return hook for bigger purchases.
Okay, that's clever. What about the membership idea?
That taps into that willingness to pay for benefits. Set up a simple loyalty program or membership. For a small annual fee, maybe customers get free returns, plus exclusive discounts, early access to sales, that kind of thing.
So you build loyalty and offset return costs.
Potentially, yes. It reframes it as a value add for your best customers.
Right. Now, looking ahead, technology.ai, automation, it feels like that's going to be huge for returns management, but maybe scary for small businesses. Seems like something only the big guys can afford.
That's definitely a common perception, a valid concern. You see the big retailers investing heavily in AI and machine learning for returns, and smaller players think, that's not for me.
Too complex, too expensive.
Right. But Allen Stafford's research from marketing notes shows the landscape is shifting. There are more affordable, more user-friendly AI tools emerging now, specifically aimed at small and medium businesses.
Okay, so it is becoming more accessible. What kind of tools are we talking about? What should smaller e-commerce businesses look into based on Allen's insights?
Allen suggests exploring some of the dedicated return management platforms that have AI built in and offer plans for smaller businesses. Think companies like Return Logic, Loop Returns, Aftership Return Center. They often have tiered pricing.
And what do these tools actually do?
They can automate a lot of the workflow, initiating returns, generating labels, communicating with customers. But crucially, Allen emphasizes using the analytics they provide.
The data behind the returns.
Exactly. Track why things are coming back. Is it always the same shirt because the sizing is off? Are the photos for a certain product misleading? Use that data to fix the root cause upstream. That prevents future returns.
Makes sense. Use the data to get smarter.
And it's telling that, according to recent stats, around 39% of retailers using AI for returns are specifically using it to identify high return products and understand why they're coming back.
Turning data into actionable improvements. Okay, final piece. The return policy itself. That document. It's so important, but so tricky to get right. You don't want to scare customers off, but you can't give away the farm either. What's Allen Stafford's advice on fine-tuning that policy?
Clarity and fairness are key, according to Allen. One big thing he highlights is offering flexible exchange options.
Pushing for an exchange instead of a refund.
Encouraging it, yeah. Make it easy, maybe even offer a little sweetener like a small store credit bonus if they choose an exchange over cash back. Keep the customer, keep the revenue.
And AI can help there too.
Interestingly, yes. Some AI tools can now suggest relevant products for an exchange based on what the customer bought and why they're returning it.
Wow. Okay. What else for the policy?
Clear return windows. Be reasonable, maybe 30 days, 45 days, but be firm and communicate it clearly. No ambiguity. Make the policy easy to find and easy to understand on your website.
So encourage exchanges, be crystal clear on the time frame.
Got it. Before we wrap up this deep dive based on Allen Stafford's marketing notes, maybe we can just zoom out for a second. What's the bigger picture for AI and machine learning and returns?
Well, beyond the specific things we've hit on, AML is really poised to touch almost every part of the returns journey.
Like what?
Like automatically writing better product descriptions, enhancing images to minimize surprises, pinpointing those problem products faster, making those fit recommendations even more accurate, summarizing reviews automatically for product listings, powering AR try-ons.
Okay, lots on the prevention side.
Definitely. But also authenticating returns to catch fraud, assessing the condition of returned items automatically, routing returns to the right place efficiently, deciding if an item should be resold, donated, or scrapped.
Wow, that's comprehensive. It is. Even determining eligibility based on customer history, making save the sale offers automatically, nudging customers towards cheaper return methods like drop-offs, real-time fraud detection, triggering those strategic returnless refunds we talked about. It's potentially transformative.
It really sounds like it. So it's crystal clear then. Managing returns, preventing returns. It's not optional anymore, is it? It's absolutely core to profitability and just surviving, especially for smaller online businesses.
Couldn't agree more. And as Allen Stafford really drives home with his practical insights and marketing notes from the binder, by actually using these strategies, leveraging the tech that's becoming available, our listeners can get a handle on this.
Turn a challenge into an opportunity.
Exactly. Optimize operations, make customers happier in the process, and like the marketing binder tagline says, grow bold and go beyond.
So for everyone listening right now, maybe just pause and think. Based on everything we've dug into today from Allen Stafford's experience, what's the one change you could make to your returns process? The single most impactful thing right now for your business?
Could be revisiting those product pages.
Or maybe looking into one of those AI tools.
Or just rethinking how you communicate your policy.
Whatever it is, we hope this deep dive gave you some concrete ideas. Explore the resources, take a fresh look at your listings with return prevention in mind. Thanks for joining us.
All right, we're back, and here are some key takeaways from our podcast. See, what you want to do is set expectations up front. Basically, you want to incorporate 360-degree photos on your website, use augmented reality or AR, and use size-fit widgets that help slash wrong item returns. Also, use AI and tiered policies to help flag serial returners and reward your loyal shoppers. And then cut processing costs. Use third-party drop-offs, strategic keep-it refunds, and open box resale strategies. And then mine the data. Take a look at your data. Return analytics reveal product fixes that stop the churn. And test membership or minimum cart-free returns. You see, shoppers will pay for convenience. Let me know which tactic will save you the most money this quarter. Tell me below and I answer every comment that you leave. And for step-by-step playbooks and early access resources, join the Marketing Binder Insiders newsletter. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Or you can swing by marketingbinder.com and just hit subscribe. All right. Until next time, grow bold and go beyond and keep those marketing notes handy.